Kent Steffes, number 2. The all-time series, keep in mind, Hovland and Steffes have only been together since last summer. Smith and Stoklos 3-1 in finals, 15-13 last week at Fort Myers. So Smith and Stoklos, the favorites. St. John Smith with the blue headband. And we shift now to Kent Steffes and Tim Hovland. They have played more games than Smith and Stoklos. They have come through the losers bracket. Andre and Guilherme, the Brazilian team, 15-4, Boley and Bouillon. Boy, that's a mouthful. Hanley Vandewey. Then they clobbered Frohoff and Dodds, lost to Smith and Stoklos after leading 12-7, and then defeated Frohoff and Dodds. Conversely, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos have only played, 5 matches, if you consider Mertens and Yancey a match. Chavez and Rotman 3, Walmer and Jantz 3, for Bolovich and Smith 2. The only good match that Smith and Stoklos have had all day, Hovland and Steffes, 15-12.
Hovland and Steffes scored as many points as all the others combined. Bobby Clark, one of the best referees in the world on the beach or indoors, will be up, and Jim Leonard, his partner, I believe, there you get a look at him, will be down below. And one of these days, Jim Leonard and I are going to play some tennis together. We keep threatening.
1 game to 15. If Hovland and Steffes win, then we go to a 7-point tiebreaker, and there is a slight delay while they try to decide which volleyball to use. All the balls on the AVP Tour are made by Spalding. Spalding has and does and always will make the best beach volleyball. They make a great ball, an 18-patch top flight, smooth leather, and it is the preferred ball of the pros. But they have about 4 pods out there, 4 figs, and they're trying to figure out which is the best.
Well, because the Spalding Top Flight is made out of very porous leather, it absorbs moisture. You want to make sure the weight is just right. And St. John Smith's 6 straight wins in the finals since his last loss. Seems like a lifetime ago.
6'3", 33 years old, 205 pounds, 118 career wins. And the wins going up for St. John Smith. Randy Stoklos has 98 behind him. So Stoklos still remains 20 wins behind St. John Smith. Started on the tour later. Smith started playing in 77. Stoklos really didn't hit the pro scene hard until about 1980.
Trouble right off the bat. Great
nice
shot.
Loop shot by Randy Stoklos.
Exactly the same problems that Steffes and Hovland ran into in the finals of the winners bracket. Their ball control breaking down. Smith and Stoklos may be the best, certainly the best on the tour right now in terms of their overall ball control, passing, setting, and hitting, taking advantage to get on the board first.
Smith has a good jump serve, not a great one, more directional player. Steffes cut Smith into the net. Was that good? No. Good cut shot by Kent Steffes. Steffes saying that ball was down, and so does Bobby Clark. And so Steffes will put the ball in play.
St. John Smith hasn't slowed down at all, playing defense, and gets the good read here on the cut shot. I think he might have gotten that one.
Steffes didn't get the cut shot over in the corner far enough.
Right, not close enough to the sideline.
Nice serve down the middle.
Great.
Smith with a great set. Off Hovland. Here he comes, chance for a point. Not yet. Smith attacking. And beautifully done by Smith.
I'll tell you, when you get a point scoring opportunity near the net against Smith and Stoklos, you've got to capitalize the first time. Give them 2 swings, and this is what happens. Ball control is just too good.
1-0 is our score. Steffes blocked. 2-0.
That ball dropping a little bit inside for Kent Steffes, and Randy Stoklos reading that quickly, dropping into the cross court. Stuffs now for 2-0, and these are points that Smith and Stoklos are getting on the bad side.
Good look at Big Randy, 6'4", 220, now 30 years old. Most powerful player on the beach. No one will argue with that. And Hovland goes over the top. One problem Hovland and Steffes have had, Paul, historically, is getting off to slow starts, whether it be Hovland getting loose or Steffes not warming up quite enough.
Well, and since they're coming out of the losers bracket, it's very, very difficult to dig yourself a hole early on. You got to expend so much more physical and emotional and mental energy to make that comeback against a great team. They got to get off to a good start and close this first side change lead.
Smith bombs hard down the middle. Smith, who played collegiately at UCLA. Winner of the first 2 tournaments along with Randy Stoklos in Honolulu and last week in Fort Myers. 2-0 is our score. Smith Stoklos have the lead. Steffes. And he bangs it out of bounds.
Not the best of sets, but Kent Steffes has got to keep that ball in play. You can't just make hitting errors like that and get the ball out of bounds.
This is the Miller Lite Fort Lauderdale Open, just the start of our final, and Smith and Stoklos out quickly 3-0. And Steffes stumbles and just catches the line. Lucky play.
Just found a big divot out there, a little quicksand, stepped deeply into it, and very lucky that he kept his footing. That would have been another easy point for Smith Stoklos.
The wind has changed around a little here at Fort Lauderdale Beach. It is now blowing onto the water.
But some very ominous looking clouds to the south of us where I can see rain falling.
Good serve, but Stoklos has it. Stoklos, big hit as Hovland touches the net.
A lot of question as to who you should serve because St. John Smith is so consistent, but Randy Stoklos can bring the heat. I think, though, you want to stay on Randy, continue to take away his cross court.
Smith has it. Another point coming. Not yet. Steffes trying to save point. Gets a back set, goes down the line. Here comes Stoklos, flipper into the net.
Randy Stoklos taking a chance with a flipper instead of making the conservative play with a knuckler, and why not? You're up 3-0 early. And
he can whack this flipper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If he gets a little more lift on the flipper, it's a very dangerous shot. Let's see. Does he get the good lift? No. A little bit off the net and hits that one in the bottom of the net.
Three 0 Hovland, Steffes trailing.
Straight up there. Right there. Yeah.
Nice set.
Nice shot.
And Smith gently dinks it in. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos officially have won 3 straight tournaments. The Miller Lite USA Championships and the first 2 this year.
And this is why. You know, Randy Stoklos out of position. The ball's up in the wind. He's got such good strength and body control. He just dishes that ball right on top of the net for St. John. Tight set.
And Steffes pounds it by. So Kent Steffes gets a kill. We would like to remind you that we will be picking a Killer Loop Kill Award winner today. The player with the most kills in the final will receive $500 from Bausch & Lomb, courtesy of Killer Loop sunglasses. You get one toss like that. If he does it again, it will be a side out. You cannot deceive. He's got to hit this one. Into the net. A lot of pressure, like getting that second serve in tennis.
Well, you want to be aggressive serving, but I could just almost tell by his body posture that he just wasn't ready to hit the jumper. He should have stayed down, just kept the ball in play.
Hovland inside the block. Tim Hovland going to get the majority of the serves, we think. And Hovland's younger. Everybody was scared to serve him.
Hasn't been that way so far,
No.
though. Chris Steffes getting 7 serves compared to only 2 for Tim Hovland.
And remember last week in Fort Myers, Hovland got the Killer Loop Kill Award. And very unusual. Something he had never received before. That just means they serve you a lot. And you get a lot of kills. You put a lot of balls down. It was a battle last week. Here comes Stoklos. And he dinks it into the net. So the little cut shot, a little too fine for Big Randy. And Hovland and Steffes score a point.
Crowd getting into it. They, too, sense the domination and string of Smith and Stoklos. Would like to see a very, very competitive final here. Take the cut back.
And Stoklos buries it. You might wonder why I mentioned that Stoklos and Smith had won 3 straight tournaments. The all-time record is 13, held by Jim Menges and Greg Lee. I asked Randy if they had a chance to do that. He said, no, I don't think we can win 13 in a row. If we do, I'll retire. I think they have a chance. What do you think?
The players ought to get together and let them win 13 in a row and get them off the beach.
Steffes blocked by Stoklos.
Big block in the net by Randy Stoklos. Point, Stoklos and
Stoklos, just like in the finals of the winners, taking over this match.
Our final, starting off very quickly, Randy Stoklos blocking 4-1 Smith Stoklos as we take the change. What's coming up on the Miller Lite AVP Tour? Phoenix next week. We'll be in the desert and then down to San Diego and then up to Santa Barbara for the first time. We'll be back at Ledbetter Beach, and I can't wait to go back to Santa Barbara.
Haven't been there for a couple of years. One of the great spots. Henry Bergman made it famous years and years and years ago, and we're starting to date ourselves here because probably nobody out watching now knows who Henry Bergman was, but he made Santa Barbara famous for beach volleyball.
Smith Stoklos ahead by 4. And kills right now. Smith and Stoklos balance. Steffes has 6. Hovland yet to put a ball away, but Hovland not getting served very much.
He's received 4 serves and no kills as of yet.
A couple of in bad sets, a couple of good serves. Smith Stoklos jumped out 4-1. Hovland and Steffes caught up to 5-3. Steffes and Smith right there in the angle like he is every time. Smith and Steffes in the angle. Hobb goes a-running. What a set! And Smith jumps on top of it.
Cut shot.
No, he drills it. St. John Smith.
This is the best I've seen St. John play in a long, long time. He's jump serving well, but he's playing tremendous defense and able to convert out of that because of the setting of his partner, Randy Stoklos. St. John just repeatedly in the right spot, and he can see that Steffes and Hovland are completely out of position with their defense. It just rips deep middle. Rare serve to Hovland.
Blocked. Now 9-3. And Stoklos registers his 3rd stuff block.
Randy Stoklos getting over, seeing Tim Hovland trying to chop the ball down the line and closes the door with his right hand. And Chris, if you go back to the winner's bracket final, Smith and Stoklos have now outscored Steffes and Hovland 17-3.
There's a full timeout called by Tim Hovland and Kent Steffes. You know, people ask, why do we see Smith Stoklos every week? Well, 3 teams have won 41 out of 50. Only 10 players made it to the finals. Only 8 players have more than 1 win since the start of '89. And, of course, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos winning the majority of the tournaments.
Hovland and Dodd, and then you had Frohoff and Kirai and Steffes and Kirai. Those are the teams that have won, and then a couple of moving in. You had Verbalovich and Steffes up in San Jose, and I think Andrew Smith and Dan Verbalovich won one early at the beginning of last season. Other than that, it's about it.
Would things be different if the tournaments were not double elimination? Is that a rhetorical question? Do I know what you're going to say?
Well, you and I talk about it all the time, and there you see the elapsed time. We're coming just up on 20 minutes out in the hot, blustery southern Florida sun, and I would like to see single elimination just because then the upsets would count for something. And we'll get into that later on. Double elimination, first of all, very difficult to understand how teams lose and have another chance to come back and win.
Steffes. And Steffes puts it away. Let's take it one step further. Is there anybody that thinks that Duke could beat Las Vegas again if they played basketball?
No.
And Smith and Stoklos are just like UNLV. If you give them 2 chances, they're going to win most of the time.
That's right. If Smith and Stoklos lose, let's say, in the round of 8 in the quarterfinals, they just go rest for a little while, come back and play and have another chance to win. And the team that beat them, sure, they've moved on, but if they're a lower-ranked team, the upset really counts for nothing. You know, so you can say you beat Smith and Stoklos, but Smith and Stoklos still win first prize. But if it's single elimination, then Smith and Stoklos have packed their bags, go home early, and we get to see some fresh faces.
Good question for you fans out there. If you have an opinion on single elimination or double elimination, what you think it might do, why don't you write us at the Beach Bag and let us know your feelings on that. We'll pass them along.
And one thing that I think you have to combine with single elimination is single elimination on Sunday, a round of 8, and go pool plays on Saturday.
Looked like a pretty good play by Hovland, and he jammed it right in Stoklos' face. He looked like he jammed it all the way down. It looks like...
what we've got here is a conversation, if we can possibly listen, Jim Leonard and Bobby Clark about a net.
Looked like Hovland, he contacted the ball and went right over the top and kept jamming until it was almost down by the sand. And Stoklos questioning. Of course, the rule is once you contact it, you can go over. Is that correct, Paul, on a spike? It was a spike.
If there's somewhat of a joust here, as long as you contact any part of the ball on your side, you can follow through. But Stoklos was arguing about a net.
Come on.
(9-3) is our score.
Hovland and Steffes got to make a move and make it very, very quickly.
Set his back. Steffes with a nice dig. Chance for a point. Oh, it's going over the net. And a point opportunity
Terrible set. Hovland and Steffes have got to convert, and I say they have to do it quickly because they've been out on the court a lot longer given the extra matches they've played because of double elimination, and their chance to win is to keep this match short.
Here, come on. Line! Randy!
St. John's right there.
Got to come over.
Here we go. Angle, no one.
Steffes, Smith chasing. He's 33, but he can still go. Great play.
Stoklos.
Oh, and Steffes hits it into the bottom of the net. Why are they kings of the beach? Because they go.
Getting older, maybe. Getting slower? I don't think so. Watch the chase. Good fake block by Randy Stoklos. Look at St. John, and then Randy, you've got to always follow your partner, keep the ball in play, because anything can happen even when you give him a free ball. And Kent Steffes, the ball just drops in the wind down inside, and he hits the ball into the net.
Blocked. Steffes and Hovland. The shot is out of bounds. Another point. So the score has gone from 5-3, a 2-point lead, now to 11-3. 6 unanswered points by Smith Stoklos, and they are just mopping up men's pro beach volleyball. Could they win 13 tournaments in a row? They could win them all the way they're playing right now. Stoklos and Smith, the kings of the beach, 11-3 over Hovland and Steffes at the moment. Welcome back. Miller Lite Fort Lauderdale Open. St. John Smith has been digging everything.
Tight set.
And the jam. Hovland wins the joust. So a tight play at the net. Smith and Stoklos make a run from 5-3 to 11-3. 6 unanswered points, and we find ourselves 4 points away from another championship going to Smith Stoklos. Hovland with a serve. And Hovland doesn't like that set.
Well, the standard is so high for Randy Stoklos. He sets 1,000 balls and 990 of them come out with no spin at all, and that one had a lot of rotation.
Yeah, that could have been a double contact. Yeah. That's as bad as Randy will set one. If you're not going to call that, you're never going to call him. We've only seen him really get called for, well, 1 throw this year, and he sets every ball with his hands, and maybe 2 or 3 last year.
Well, Hov just trying to put some pressure on Bobby Clark, and also they need every break they can possibly muster to get back in this match.
Smith Stoklos by 8.
That's trouble.
Big trouble. Steffes gobbles it up, and Hovland knocks it down. Smith and Stoklos together for 10 years. They've won 97 tournaments between them. Once again, if you haven't heard the story, Randy Stoklos won his first tournament back in 1981 with Jim Menges. That's the only tournament he's ever won without Smith. Smith has won with a number of different partners,
including Karch Kurai
and Jim Menges, to name a couple. Hovland, Smith with another dig. I think it's got to go over. Yes, it does. Stoklos touched it. And Smith and Stoklos starting to gobble up everything. They're gobbling, and they gobble it up.
Right down the line by Randy Stoklos. Point to Stoklos.
I know it's around Easter time, Paul, but it seems like Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble.
You said they're gobbling. There's some good restaurants nearby. They ate well last night, and right now they're dining on Hovland and Steffes.
We're taking a timeout. 12-3. Smith and Stoklos by 9. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland with you. The Miller Lite Fort Lauderdale Open. And Smith Stoklos cleaning up here in our final 9-point lead for Smith Stoklos over Hovland and Steffes. It was close at one time, 5-3, but 7 unanswered points. Just as they did in the finals of the winners bracket. Smith and Stoklos going on a run. Hovland and a soft block by Stoklos.
Nobody. Come on.
And Stoklos puts it away. 13-3. The wipeout continues.
And Hov looked skyward and said, let the rains begin. Give me some thunder and lightning. Get us out of here. Everything going Smith and Stoklos' way. And not by lucky break. Sure, maybe they got one off the tape shot. But Stokey is blocking. and what he doesn't touch, St. John is digging everything else.
Sand timeout registered to Hovland and Steffes. And Hov can't believe it. Fortunes have turned around just a bit, as St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos showing the intensity that has garnered them all those wins. Steffes and Hovland trying to hang on here. Pray for rain. Hovland. Smith digs over and out. So some spectacular blocking by Stoklos, but St. John Smith has made some tremendous defensive plays.
He's in double digits. He's got 10 digs.
Best defensive player last year. He gets that award just about every year.
Make that 12, Chris. St. John Smith with 8 kills, 12 digs, having a big match.
And Smith, a prime candidate for our Killer Loop Kill Award. Stoklos coming in, blocked. Kind of pawed back over. Stokey says, "What's that?" And Steffes says, "I don't know what that is, but I'll show you what this is, the block."
There's nothing wrong with that play. Kent Steffes just with a pokey. He didn't carry this thing with his open hand.
Well, I'll tell you, if it's a spike, it's a throw. You can't do that if it's a spike. That's the end of the play, but the play right before that.
Hand. I thought he just knuckled it. I'd like to look at it again. I thought he hit that with a knuckler.
13-4.
Good, good. Come on.
Tight set.
So St. John Smith getting another side out, moving in on another tournament victory, looking for number 119.
St. John going to send it up into the wind.
Hovland and Steffes stumps it down. "31 minutes, a very short match, and you might imagine ace serve by Steffes. Unfortunately, it's too little, too late.
Needed the big white one. This is a little white one and a very late white one for the ace, Kent Steffes.
Steffes going to pull out all stoppers now.
Come on. Straight up, right there.
Stoklos coming in. And Stoklos bounces one over to the player's tent.
When Randy Stoklos is set tight to the net or in the middle, he prefers to pull the ball back across his body and hit the ball straight down. That's when you see the big bounce. You got to take that shot away.
13-5.
Let it down.
And the serve catches the wind and goes right out of bounds.
Yeah, the wind has changed direction so many times. It was blowing offshore, onshore, north, south. Now it's swirling a little bit and still blowing hard. Lots of storm clouds off the coast.
Inside the block, St. John Smith hits hard. Another kill for St. John.
Smith now with his 9th kill. Once again, the ball control makes it happen. Every set in exactly the right spot and just chopping the ball inside Kent Steffes.
He's a master of deep middle. That ball's going to be in. Steffes took it. Pretty good play. And Steffes pokes it down the line. Boy, that's a tough ball to handle right on the back ribbon.
Well, you don't want to have to pass that ball unless you absolutely have to. You're hoping it's out. You're waiting until the last second, and that thing had radar. It was a smart bomb and coming down on the back line.
Good.
Smith shanks a pass.
So
give Steffes another ace.
4 or 5 more like that, and we'll have a match.
Actually, Steffes is on the good side now, so he's just bombing right into the wind.
Just hit it into the wind. Let that do half your work, and the best passer, I think, in the history of the game can't control that one.
Good.
There's a perfect pass, perfect set. Down the line, Hovland has a chance for a point.
Gotta convert. Gotta convert.
Nope, can't do it. Hovland just a little long.
Had the right idea. Past Stoklos, over St. John Smith, but just long by a couple inches.
7-point lead for Smith Stoklos. Stoklos to serve. Cutting inside, Smith had it up for a moment, but Stoklos could not backpedal. Stoklos about 4-2. He could have run and got that one, but the dig did not come up very high.
And the flash.
Hovland. His team way behind, trying to catch up.
Good.
Just out of bounds. Smith and Stoklos was a little confused who was going to take that one, but it traveled out of bounds. And now St. John once again will send it up into the wind, up high into the clouds. Not as deep as you would like.
Nice shot down the line. You know, it's redundant to say, but there is no clock in volleyball. Obviously, Steffes and Hovland have a chance, but they need a couple of breaks because that's an awful lot of side outs and point scoring opportunities in between to get back to even.
Steffes, who aced for 5 and aced for 6, leading the match in kills, 1 ahead of Smith.
Hob needs a stuff block. Looking at blocks, Tim Hovland has 1. Kent Steffes doing a little bit better, but Hob really not asserted himself in the matchup against Randy Stoklos here.
Score remains 13-6.
Randy, come on up the net.
And Stoklos can't quite get there. The dig was into the net. Stoklos tried to go in like Ricky Henderson and dig it out.
We're in South Florida. They're trying to get Major League Baseball. They had an exhibition game at Joe Robbie Stadium last night. 61,000 people showed up chanting, "We want baseball." As long as they don't take the Dodgers, I guess.
Stoklos. Splendid cut shot inside. And Stoklos planting his little garden, making sure there are no holes in the sand. Score remains the same. 13-6.
Pretty comfortable temperature right now. The cloud cover, light breeze.
I'm liking it. Steffes hits hard, another kill. So Kent Steffes racking him up, kill number 11.
Where does Randy Stoklos go? You see him hanging way out on the line. The play was for Stoklos to take away Kent Steffes' line shot, St. John Smith to dig the whole area of the cross court, and just too much to cover.
Steffes improving every year. He got his first win with John Stevenson 1989 at Seal Beach. And what a happy camper he was. Got 6 last year. And this year, still looking for the first official tournament. Steffes, you can't count that as an ace, but it's a service winner. And Steffes and Hovland might just be back in it. Okay, Paul Sunderland, let's get back to the action. I got one comment on your news piece, one little tidbit to add as the match running on to almost 40 minutes. Hovland and Steffes trying to get back in. Interestingly, Greg Giovinazzi, the assistant coach in the USA women's team, told me that they have a new setter in camp. She was born in the United States but grew up in Japan. Her name is Yoko Hori. She is a 5'11" setter, can dish the ball out to the outside. She's a great setter, and she's going to challenge Lori Endicott for that setting job. So the United States getting very, very strong in a good position. Stoklos. Oh, and Hovland Kong Stoklos. Well, that's the second Kong we've seen Stokey lose today.
Well, Hob, of course, wants to win this match, but he also wants to win all the Kongs against the master, Randy Stoklos, and here's shoving it down on the big boy.
The Kong, just a one-arm block at the net. We get the double Kong here. I love that play. Kong and son of Kong. Smith. Off Steffes and hit Bobby Clark in the face. There's Bobby Clark. One of the best American indoor officials. And interestingly, a couple years back, St. John Smith, I think Randy Stoklos asked that they bring in some of the indoor officials to the beach game and integrate them into the action, instead of using just beach players. Steffes and Hovland have gotten very steady at the moment.
And obviously they need that, still down by 6. And if they need an ace from Kent Steffes, they need some stuff blocks, obviously, from Tim Hovland. And they got to keep concentrating and keep good confidence in their side-out game. They're way down here, nothing to lose.
Tight set. Steffes has it. Chance for another point. No. Oh, Hovland chicken wings it up. And Steffes rolls it out of bounds. Point opportunity.
Mark that one down. You've got to convert. They've had at least 2 or 3 of those point-scoring opportunities in this game with swings at the net. And Randy Stoklos has shut the door as he does here. They're forcing the hitting error, or St. John Smith has been able to make a saving dig.
Here comes Hovland, 13-7, and Hovland showing some steam.
That's a nice chop. He really looked as if he was going to hit the ball down the line or over the top of Randy Stoklos. St. John Smith moved to defend that and just sliced the ball away from the defense on the block.
Hobb and Steffes trailing 13-3. They've scored 4 points on the strength of Steffes killing one, a couple of Steffes aces, and a service winner by Steffes. Smith. Hovland has it. Big play here. Going for a point. Not yet. Back over the net. Steffes on the attack. Down the line. Smith has it. And the joust at the net. Stoklos over Steffes.
2 opportunities in a row. The score could easily be 13-9, 13-10. Instead, it stays at 13-7. And St. John Smith with 2 more digs in that rally. Now he's up to 15. Plenty of chances for Hovland and Steffes to put that ball away.
Smith, 2 points away from the championship here in Fort Lauderdale. Hovland chops off Stoklos.
Hovland and Steffes are passing the ball extremely well
better.
right now. Yeah,
much better than they were earlier. Don't forget, our Killer Loop Kill Award will be presented at the end of this particular game. Down the line, just out of bounds. 3 players still in the running, presented to the player that has the most kills in the final match. Or final game, if you like. Match is usually best 2 out of 3, but the terminology is interchangeable. Stoklos hits it out. You think Stoklos and Smith suffered just a little letdown after getting out to that big lead?
Well, 2 things. I think they have slowed down. They've let down their intensity just a little bit. And Hovland and Steffes have really raised their side-out game. They're both passing the ball very well. But they're still not converting when they have opportunities to score. Bad pass.
Pretty good block by Steffes. Another point.
St. John was trying to hit that ball straight up. And when you see St. John Smith miss a pass, you've got to figure that they have lost their edge. Pretty bad pass, too low, and St. John just trying to hit the ball up and off. Kent Steffes get another opportunity, but Kent putting the roof on.
Stoklos hitting hard.
Why not go right back to St. John? Go right back to St. John Smith in that situation.
Is that a jumper?
No, just a float serve.
Smith will serve his jumper. Glad you're with us here on Prime Network. The final here in Fort Lauderdale. Kent Steffes on the attack. Down the line, he rolls it. Good move by Steffes that time. He really sold Smith on the hit that time. Looked like he was coming in to bomb away and then changed at the last minute.
Right, waited to the point where he was on his way down. Convinced St. John Smith that he was going to either hit or cut the ball cross court, and it made the line shot wide open.
5 straight points for Hovland. And Steffes with a dig. Could be 6 straight points. Can Steffes do it? Not yet. Smith will come from the back line on a shoot set. Steffes chasing. And it's got to go over. Hovland touched it.
Watch Randy hitting.
Oh, and he hits it out of bounds. Another point. So just when we put Steffes and Hovland to bed, they get up and say, I've got to get a drink of water.
Hey, they were in the coffin, and the mortician had the hammer raised over the last nail. 13-9, could be 11 or 12. Another bad pass.
That time, Smith spinning into the corner. Smith having a little trouble passing the ball today.
Well, the wind is really gusting, and that's what I've got to figure it to, and losing his concentration just a little bit.
Going to Hovland.
Nice set.
And Hovland nips it through.
Really a nice set by Kent Steffes. Very tight to the net, had to arch backwards to get out of the way of the net. Dishing it straight up. Nice play.
6 straight points have been scored by Hovland and Steffes. Doug, Steffes chasing. Oh, he got a break and pokes it right over. Stoklos detonates, however.
St. John really struggling now with his serve receiving. He's made 3 pretty average or subpar passes in a row. Nice dig here by Hov, and look at the determination. Need a little more of this luck and determination and speed early on, and Randy might hit one out periodically, but not there.
Full timeout for Hovland and Steffes. Full timeout. So a 13-3 final game has turned into a pretty good match. 13-9 is our score. We'll return to Fort Lauderdale after this. Flavor Andre and Guillermo sounds like a jewelry store on Rodeo Drive.
Well, we asked for their last names. He says no. It's like inside. It's like Pele. Pele. We only have one name.
Bobby Clark, our first referee. Action has tightened up. Smith and Stoklos were ahead 13-3. Hovland and Steffes now have closed that up to 13-9 and have done it with some serving.
Excuse me, Kent Steffes is getting some medical treatment. He's coming out right now. But let's see if he's got some tape on. He's got some tape on a knee and was getting some medical attention during that last break in the action.
So Kent Steffes and Smith saying, hey, they took longer than 2 minutes. There's the wrap on Steffes. And now we will see what happens. Smith and Stoklos have the ball, 2 points away from the championship. Smith serving.
And the wind howling. Got to have a side out.
Jump serve OB. So Steffes, who has really ignited the rally, he got it going with a jump serve, and the fans, boy, they like him here. He is popular. Service story, lots of errors.
Come on.
Stoklos has it.
Angle.
And Stoklos drilling for oil right by Hovland's right armpit.
Randy prefers to hit the ball cross court from off the net, but this time Hov moved in too soon, and nobody is going to dig that one.
13-9. Hovland and Steffes continuing to side out. Maybe the best Hovland and Steffes have sided out so far this young summer.
I think they look more confident and looser and more relaxed than they have. And sometimes you get way down and you just go, what the heck? We've got to just let it all hang out, and they're playing the best volleyball of their summer right now.
Cut inside. St. John Smith, the best cut shot on the beach by far.
Like to see Kent Steffes or Tim Hovland against St. John Smith. Fake block. Be there now. Break into the cut shot and cover it that way. Just got to take some chances. They execute it too well.
Sounds like a good idea. Cross court, not unlike the ace he dished up in Phoenix last year to win that tournament. Trying to work Steffes short.
St. John now missed 2 serves in a row. Let's see how he passes the ball. Steffes should try to get the ball to him.
And he does, but he wails it out of bounds. And you can hear Smith saying, come on, let's go. I've got a plane to catch. It's a long flight back to Los Angeles.
Got some money to spend.
Stoklos trying to serve into the wind to Steffes. Nope, short to Hov.
Tight set.
That's trouble. Nice coverage by Steffes.
And a good set.
Flipper coming. Oh, just out of bounds. Stoklos tried the impossible dream.
Stokey's gone to the flipper twice in this final and paid for it both times. Good cover by Kent Steffes, and Hov with an excellent set. St. John's got this ball.
Look at that shot.
Almost in.
The cut shot flipper.
That would have been the nail. Look at this. The serving of both teams just gone.
And Hovland rams his new sunglasses into the pavement, into the dirt. And so Hov will go sans glasses now as one of the linesmen. Picks up the remnants of the Hov specials. Getting dark here. I'm surprised he didn't take them off earlier.
Tight set.
Steffes cut wide open. Steffes going inside. 2 straight service errors for Hovland and Steffes now. If you're Steffes, do you jump serve now?
Keep the pressure on it. He's feeling confident. Just go back and do it. And right now, he's executing the cut shot very well, but wants to keep the ball on St. John Smith, so he's going to hit the floater. That's tight.
Smith. Steffes can't go. He was dug in, couldn't go. Smith, all-time leaders in wins, all-time leader in money, all-time leader in endorsements, all-time leader in family, brothers and sisters. Steffes. Chance for a point, and Stoklos gets it. So the soft block. And now we have come to championship point.
Have so many weapons. It's just a matter of time when they're out to that big a lead. Just too much ground to make up.
Okay, there's a break in the action. We're going to take a short timeout. Back to Fort Lauderdale after this. Make it out of here in time, Paul. Clouds coming in.
Stoklos Smith leading 14-39.
That's if Stoklos and Smith can wrap it up. There it is. The storm is coming. In the Midwest, we'd look for the twister.
Perish the thought.
And taking his time is Hovland, making Stoklos wait. Wind in a good position right now for Smith Stoklos.
Watch Randy to go for the jumper to win it.
Cross court, you think?
Well, he's moving over now. He
That's
wants
where
to
he
serve
should
the
go.
ball right into the wind. He's going to hit the jumper from the right side. You want to hit it into the wind.
Stoklos looking for the ace to wrap it up. No. Hovland made him wait an awfully long time. And the fans trying to rally Steffes and Hovland one final time.
Going to St. John deep.
Good serve.
Fake block.
And inside, Smith curls it in. Boy, the wind just picked up by about 5 knots on that Smith hit. He curled it in. And the palm tree starting to blow. Second championship point for Smith Stoklos.
Oh,
And that's going to be a lift. That's the end of the tournament. Bobby Clark calls a lift on Hovland. The ball was headed for the back line. Hovland put his hands up,
and it's stuck.
so that will do it. Smith and Stoklos win their 4th straight AVP Open tournament here in Fort Lauderdale. They split $13,250 in this $65,000 tournament. So Smith Stoklos win again. We're going to come back and talk to the winners after this. Welcome back. It took 53 minutes and 12 seconds, according to Freestyle. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos hold on to beat Tim Hovland and Kent Steffes.